Um, Very difficult to explain how you feel to somebody who's never experienced this. But there is a deep sense of this person has never loved you to start with. This person has never loved you, and when you kind of realize that, because there's lots and lots of, I mean, this is unscripted, by the way, but there is lots and lots of clues and that you tend to ignore at first, because you've never been out with, or you've never experienced a relationship with somebody with a disordered mind before. So you kind of judge this person as a norm because they look normal. They have a normal looking face, a normal looking body. They're very good at pretending, and they're very good at putting different kind of personalities on. And when you see this, when you are an observer of, this person over time will show who they are. And, one day you will say, if you live with this person, or you've been married, you was swept off your feet and you was married within 2 years, and suddenly they will come home from wherever they've been. Okay, they will come home and they will have some kind this personality that you don't recognize. And when you're a normal intellectual human being that's fully functioning with none of these disorders, you will notice this. It's like a gut feeling. This person will walk into the house one day and be a totally different person from the person that what you thought they were. And I know this is difficult to understand if anybody's not ever gone through this. But that's when you wake up to realizing that there's something wrong with this person. And it's like they walk in and they've said they've been to work all day, and it seems like they have no identity of their own. So they have, what they did was, because your identity did not kind of work out for them. Because what they do, they copy people's identities. And I know this sounds crazy, but they mirror you right from day one, and they start to behave like you. And within that process, what they're doing is taking on your identity. They are con people. They're con men or con women. And if you see it like that, you probably can understand what I'm saying here. But they actually act like you, and they like everything that you like, and they want to do everything that you want to do. Every meal that you cook them, it's like it's their favorite meal. Oh, me too, I like that too. And I'm not saying that I know some people can be strongly empathic and actually very kind of agreeable and a people pleaser. But this is different, okay? This is different. And you believe that at first. You actually believe, oh, this person is doing everything to please me, which is amazing. And then what you don't see when you're being gaslighted in that process of when they're stealing your identity, because they don't have an identity. They don't have an identity of their own. And this is what narcissists do. They go around pretending to be people who they feel are normal. And you know, I never experienced this, so I was like, I was a total victim. That and really, the thing is, guys, is that I do like a man to have their own strong identity and with presence and charisma. So I have no idea why I actually got involved with someone who didn't possess this and just copied who I was. I would recognize it now, absolutely, for sure. But at the time, this person, as soon as I saw them, or as soon as we were spending time together, they switched into me. And you know, not that I want to actually date me, that's not, or have a relationship with me, but it's like, what it feels like, guys, is it feels like you have met your soulmate, and you know, it's like you are so compatible together, and they will be. They're so laid back with you. Why was this person so laid back with me? Is because I actually realised that I'm a pretty laid back person. And this person was laid back, was kind of mirroring who I was. So in a way, this sounds really weird, but you end up falling in love with yourself. When you meet a narcissist will give you a mirror of yourself, and in a way, it's therapy for yourself, because you end up falling in love with yourself, you know. And I can see your comments there. Thank you, guys, for your comments, because I wish I noticed this from the beginning. But aren't we all looking for that knight in shining armor? I guess I wouldn't look for that now, but it seems too good to be true. It's always too good to be true with a narcissist. And if you want to know what narcissists are, I did put another video up not so long ago about what my take on narcissist was. I won't go through that here, but I want to just put it out there, you know, what made me wake up to a narcissist. Well, narcissists they're incapable of love. They are incapable of love. They don't know how to love. They fake everything, to lovemaking, to sex, to faking that they love you, faking who they are, faking their identity. In fact, it's all fake, okay? It's all fake. What you get with a narcissist is fake. And I won't go into it, but they live in this this fantasy world, and it's all mental illness. It's a mental illness, okay? It's a mental illness, and the experience that I had is that was the hardest thing, is to realize that, you know, whoever he was in presence with, he emulated them, he copied them, and he did it in front of me with other people. You know, he would be on the telephone to his mother, or he'd be on the telephone to other you know, friends, family, and each one he would switch his personality, not personality, identity. And I saw this with his mother because he, you know, he'd be on the phone, jumping up and down on the phone and pretending that he was having this amazing, amazing life to his mother. And, you know, sometimes he'd put his phone on loudspeaker, and his mother would say, "Oh my goodness, you do have an exciting life." I mean, I think even she was narcissistic. But I just sat there because obviously I've got a medical background and I've studied psychology. The wrong person for a narcissist today would be somebody like me. But he did date me for, you know, it took a long time for me to see it as well. Because why? Because I thought that somebody like that could you know, I'm an empath, and I just thought that somebody like that could get therapy and actually get some help. And you know, like any mental illness, like depression, or something like that, I just thought, you know, my inquiring mind was saying to myself, well, maybe if we get therapy together, we could work through this and we could become stronger. But it just got worse, guys. It got worse. We did live together, and it got worse. And I ended up living in this reality of his. And this is where it was exposed, because I ended up living in this reality of his, which was, you know, sleeping on the sofa with, I mean, at the beginning, everything he would emulate from me, which was, you know, making the bed with corners, fresh sheets every day, like the way I live, you know, and making sure everything is tidy. I'm a very tidy person because you know, I'm a nurse. So I was a nurse at the time, and I'm a very tidy person, and that's just the way it is, and that's just who I am. And eventually, I started to see that he started to compete with that, you know, and make out that there was something wrong with me. You know, there was something. This is where, you know, this kind of devaluation stage comes in. Okay, when, you know, it's everything that goes wrong, everything. There's there's something wrong with me because you know, you're so perfect. You're so perfect. And you know, you accuse me of cheating all the time. In fact, you know, narcissists cheat. And if I did, I feel if I well, I can tell you now, he would meet a new girl would start at work. A new girl, it doesn't matter how old they were. They could be 30 years younger than him. They could be similar age to him, or they could be a little bit older than him. They could be whatever. It doesn't matter. Validation is validation for a narcissist, okay. And what I first noticed when I was waking up to this is everything was my fault. Everything was my fault. This he was turning very abusive, and it was, everything started to become very chaos, and this is what happens with narcissists. People, it's like they are textbook, you know, to the letter. It starts to get chaotic, and everything gets chaotic, and you're the only stable force within that relationship. So that's what they rely on, is you to be that stable force. But what they do to you is blame you for every single thing in their lives. They do opposite to your, you know, in fact, it becomes more of a resentment because you have got a very solid kind of identity, and you know what love is. You know what love is, passion for life is. You know what passion for life is. You know what love is. You know what compassion is. You know what empathy is. And because of that, you've not had a car crash of a life, you know, because you have all these feelings, that you have firm boundaries, and that's why they were attracted to you in the first place. You have these firm boundaries. They don't exist with a narcissist. Boundaries don't exist with a narcissist. There's no boundaries. There's no boundaries. Their mind is chaotic. They have no identity. They copy everybody else. It's all fake. Everything they do is fake. And when you see that mask drop, and you kind of wake up to, well, that's when they feel that, oh gosh, I'm exhausted of hiding and pretending to be who you are. That's when the abuse starts, and it starts with, you know, oh, why do we have to do everything your way? Why do we have to live so perfectly like you? And it's and this jealousy comes out on resentment, which isn't love. Okay, it's not love. It's actually hatred, and they start to compete with you. And you know, you try to understand it, and me, I'm trying to understand it, thinking, okay, well, why is this person thinking like this? There must be a reason. What did I do wrong? What have I said wrong? Let's work through this. And it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's devaluation. In whatever the way they want to devalue you and make you into nothing, because they hate you, because you have a fully functioning personality, fully functioning identity. They hate you. They hate you for that, and they're tired of. They don't want to copy you anymore. You know why? Because they found a new source outside of your relationship, who I'd like to copy their identity for a change, not yours, because you're scum. You're too perfect. Why do we have to do everything your damn way? Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do that? And it's abuse. And that's when it starts to get like throwing things around, you know, sleeping on the sofa, you know, absolute opposite to when you met them. When you met them, it was all fake, and it was all word salad. Okay. So you're thinking to yourself, who is this person? Who, you know, it's like your mind is all over the place. You're confused because you know, you're in love with this person. And then they get the smear campaign starts then, because they have to, if they're going to have secondary, third supply, which is called cheating, then they have to smear campaign you to actually make this, you know, so if anybody asks, like, you know, why have you got a wife at home? Why have you got this girlfriend at home? And you're chatting up, or you're taking other females out. Why are you doing that? So they have to smear campaign you to their brothers, to their sisters, to their mothers, to their fathers. They have to say, you know, she was absolutely horrible to me. You know, she would go out and she'd not turn up, and she'd go off for days. And in reality, it's the other way around. Okay, it's them that went off for days. It's them that would go off and come back at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning after you've done dinner and all of that's, you know, and they do it to, they want to destroy you. That's what they do all this for. They just want to destroy you. So waking up to the narcissist. Now, I'm not saying anybody who puts up with this is foolish, because you have you have witnessed a very severe mental disorder. And when that kind of dawns on you, that this person does not love you, they have talked about you to every single person on the planet, telling them, all lies, that they there's nothing surprising in what they say about you. They could tell that, oh yeah, I caught her in bed with someone, she cheats on me, she tells me about it. Yeah, I can smell a man's aftershave when she walks through. It's all lies. You could be the most kind of faithful, loyal person, and this is how narcissists smear campaign you. They could even say things like, I caught STD from her, she won't have sex with me, she's not loving, she's not affectionate, she doesn't show me any affection, she doesn't allow me to make love to her. And in reality, it's the other way around. Okay, so they're very damaged people. They're very damaged people. And my experience was, when I woke up to this person, I mean, when you do love someone, and it's like, you at first you don't believe it. It's disbelief, and then you get other women calling and saying, "Oh, you're so horrible. How horrible are you?" And you think, well, who are you? And some random woman would say to you, "You're so horrible. You're so horrible. I have no idea why he puts up with you." And you say, "Who the hell are you?" Some random person. And I have no idea what you're saying, why you say this. I actually experienced that. I experienced that. This random female saying to me on an email, I don't know why he puts up with you. I just think you're horrible. I think, well, who is this person? Okay. So lots and lots of experiences before you actually wake up to a narcissist. And when you do actually wake up to a narcissist, and I woke up to my narcissist when I took some time out. I went to the countryside to clear my head of all this craziness, this chaos, this craziness, these females saying, you're just horrible, and his family saying, like, this, that, and the other. It's just a smear campaign. And the smear campaign is because they found somebody that they want to target as the new source of supply. You think to yourself, well, why do they do this? They do it for validation. And you'll know this right from the beginning, because right from the beginning you would know, because you can see them. Their eyes are scanning a room for validation, and you kind of ignore it at first, but you can go to the supermarket, and this narcissist would be scanning the supermarket for people who will give them eye contact. This is how weird this is. And they will walk across, once they get that eye contact, they will walk across from one side of the supermarket and say, just a minute, I forgot something, and go and walk right to the other side of the supermarket near this person that they got validation from. And they would go off for like 15 minutes and then come back. And all of these signs here are that this person is a narcissist. All the signs. I had that in the supermarket. Anywhere you go is is they're always scanning for validation. It's disturbing. It's they don't have, it's hard to explain. They don't have. Does anybody else here, can you put this into words for me if you know what I'm talking about here? But I'm trying to explain that if they do, you know, really go into a supermarket, anything like that, and blatantly doing that in front of you when you're in their presence, staring at people and scanning the room, they are narcissistic. They're looking for, yeah, they're an empty shell, thank you very much, and they have to fill in that void. It's more than that as well, I feel. It's there's no identity, and they're just looking all the time to prove that they are worthy of, you know, they're always trying to prove, get validation that they are a great person, a good person, when deep down they know they are scum. Okay, they know, like last week I went and slept and cheated on you. They know what they've done. They know what they're doing. And yet, yeah, predators, they are predators, absolutely, Susan. So yeah, they're predators, and they're always looking for, yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side. Always, they get bored so easily. Alexandra, yes, they do scan the room looking for something or someone better. Because it feeds that ego, and it feeds that empty shell. If they can get better than you, always kind of upgrading. In fact, my narcissist didn't, he was looking below me. And I don't like to say that about any female, but it was like a put down in a way. He would look at women that are not as attractive as me, and not as capable of me, and not as loving as me, to the way they look at, they're complete bitches. And he would give them the time of day, and he would ignore me. And what narcissists are trying to do at that particular point is make you feel as if you're not as good as that person that they're talking to, and the person that they're talking to or actually scanning is not as good as you, and they're trying to bring you down. This is devaluation. It's a part of the devaluation and putting you down. Okay. And part of this is cheating. Okay. Part of this is cheating. So, Rhonda, the narcissists that I know from my studies, many had horrible childhoods, passed around by family members. It seems that Doria decided to let him take her. Yeah. I know this. I do about the royal family, but I also do cover narcissism too. I think it helps. I think it helps us understand. It is a horrible experience, and I'll tell you my experience. And I've not said this, but waking up to this narcissist, I feel that I didn't even know who this person was in the end. And like I said, there'd be a new girl start at work, and before you know it, he's very close to her, and he's kind of forming emotional bonds right, left, and centre. And he's saying, I'm very close to this girl at work, this woman at work, and then it'd be somebody else, and then it'd be somebody else, and really, I think she wanted one of these. I think they were secondary supply, because one of them wanted to meet me. I don't know why, but It obviously done the smear campaign really well, because if they were, I feel that they were having an affair. She was married, and she wanted to meet me, and I even feel that his whole family, because his family was there at on that particular evening, and I feel the family knew who this person was, and knew what this narcissist was doing, it's crazy town. It is. It's dysfunctionality, and it's crazy town. Okay. Yeah, I think I don't get. You know, some people say they were spoiled narcissists. They don't like to be wrong, and then other times they're sexually abused by. I feel the main cause of narcissists is that they were brought up by narcissists, and they were not shown what they were not respected as like individuals. They were treated like objects by their own narcissistic parents. So they didn't form any kind of identity. So the way I see narcissists, they search for identities outside themselves because they were treated like objects as a child. And they didn't, at a certain point in their childhood, where children should, naturally form their own identity. I feel that, I do feel that the narcissist does not develop that. There's some kind of blockage to this development. So they grow up copying people that are more successful. They feel they're not good enough too. Their parents would have put them down a lot, or not given them love or affection. And what they do when they get older, they're always trying to prove that they are as good as other people. And they're doing this because they don't have a self core. They don't have a true self. They don't have a core identity. So we've got empty shells walking around, and these who narcissists are, and they take on people's identities and emulate people. And when you get targeted as a victim, like I did, they copy you. They take on your identity because they can see that you are normal, that you have a normal kind of psychology, that you was brought up with love and affection, and you know what empathy is and compassion, and you have firm boundaries because you was brought up that way. You developed normally. Narcissists are not. They've somewhere they were broken. It's like it's like they were broken but still kind of functioning in a sort of way. It's difficult to explain, but they do throw you under the bus. They do when they finish with you. And this is when they've set up another supply. When the mask drops and you see them as the scum that they are, and they've got a string of failed kind of marriages and failed relationships, and you hear of all these horrible stories of what happened that you didn't know about. Then you kind of realize, the light bulb goes on. The light bulb goes on. And you're thinking, okay, now I'm dealing with. This is where I went away to the countryside in a cottage for a while, because I realized the mask had dropped, and I didn't even know the person that I was dealing with, because they had tantrums like a 6-year-old child. Everything was my fault. They was incapable of taking responsibility or accountability of what they're doing. And, It's like, and what they will do, they'll tap into their harem that they've got there when you're away. Say if I went away to cottage to clear my head of this craziness, this dysfunction, to get my head around everything. While you're away, they'll get somebody else in. They'll be faking it with somebody else while you are trying to get your head around all this craziness. You know, what have I got myself into? All this person does is slag me off to everybody, tells everybody that I'm a horrible person. I've got strange people calling me up, telling me how horrible I am. And, you know, it's toxic. It is toxic. What they do, they get the flying monkeys out there and they smear campaign you because they want everybody to, you know, it's like it's validating what they're doing. They're validating what they're doing because they could say, a family member could say, why are you seeing that person behind, you know, your partner's back there? Why are you doing that? So they have to validate what they're doing. Okay. So yeah, waking up to the narcissist is very difficult. Because you wake up and it's like, I don't even know who you are. And who is this female that you are saying that you're very close to at work here? That, you know, you're going out with after work, or you're meeting people, or she's coming to pick you up every day to go to work, and you're traveling in a cars together and all of this thing, and everybody's saying, you know, how close you are together. What's that all about? And also, you actually see when you live with somebody like that, that there's more and more of these people, females. You know, there's men, there's females, you know, and there's more of these people, and you kind of get pushed out from this harem here, and you're watching there on the sidelines of this kind of craziness unfolding. And by that time, there's no affection, there's no hugs, there's no cuddling, there's no love making, because that was all fake anyway. You know, what they're doing is they're doing this. You know, they can't give you that because they're giving this to the other sources of supply. So there's only enough to go around. You know, because I'm grooming these people. I'm love bombing this person. I'm putting all my energies into this new source of supply. Why? Because you've seen me without my mask. And you know, you're no good now. You've seen me for who I am. You've seen the fakery here. And this is where you're standing, kind of really shocked. What is this? What have I got myself into here? And you kind of, you're stood on the sidelines thinking, you know, what the fuck, basically. Sorry for swearing, but that's how you feel. And then you decide, okay, I'm going to go away for a while to think things through, because you're kind of, you don't even know what's going on anymore. And when you wake up to that mask coming off, and these narcissists arranging these new supply in front of you, scanning supermarkets for new supply. It doesn't matter where you go, they're looking for new supply. Supermarket, it could be your birthday, and they'd be scanning the restaurant, it could be a theatre, and they're scanning the theatre. It's embarrassing, actually. It's embarrassing. In fact, it's just like taking how it feels, how it felt is like taking a mental health patient out for the day. That's how it feels. But at the time, it's very painful to watch it all kind of unfold. And it's very kind of, you don't feel foolish. It's the most strangest feeling. It's the most strangest feeling when you actually wake up to a narcissist. And you have to get out of there. You do have to get out of there to think, what the hell just happened here? This person has never loved me. He's not intimate with me. He's not, he's giving all his energies now to another source of supply, and is smearing my name like I am scum and it's all my fault. And it's the most weirdest thing, because, you have virtues and you would never talk about somebody behind their back, especially your partner. You would never, you would never go on his birthday to like a football match or something, like soccer match, and then kind of, eye up all the fellas there and just stare at everyone and just see what attention you can get. You would never do that, yet they would do that to you. And it's a very difficult thing to, when you finally wake up to this, you know that you cannot do anything to change this person. And by that time, they've already set up their secondary, third supplies. And they're possibly married women. There could even be gay, whoever is, whoever's willing to give them validation. Yeah. Whoever's willing to feed that hollow person who has no soul. They don't have any soul. They don't have soul connections. They fake it. It's all fakery. Let's have a look. Robin, my ex would do that in front of me, Yvonne. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. And if he was drunk, he would, it's worse when they're drunk. If he was drunk, he would say it out loud and to the point. If we had friends around, they would tell him that it's not nice and to stop talking like that. Yeah, they do it. This is devaluation. They do it to bring you down because they feel they're like scum and they want you to be, they want to steal. They steal identities. They want to steal your identity, then make you into the narcissist. Okay. They will say to all these friends, oh, she's a narcissist, she's nasty, she's shit in bed, there's no connection in bed. I've given up on her because she's like a dead fish in bed. It's all of this kind of thing. All of this. Okay. When really it's them that's doing this. And what they're doing is trying to devalue you to make you look like, like nothing. And if any normal person would be able to see that, and if it's a family member, if their family members would say, well, wasn't your last girlfriend like that? Or wasn't your this another one that bites the dust here? So let me get back to the title here, Waking Up to This Narcissist. And the only way that I can explain this is my own experience. I think you feel very, very, when you wake up to a narcissist, you realize that they never loved you. They never loved you. It was all fake. And they just wanted to extract from you and then treat you like an object. And that, you know, all of that, they were just copying off you. And then you would see them copying off other identities. But before you know it, when you're waking up to the narcissist, you're dealing with 3 or 4 identities here. And it's confusing. You're thinking, well, who am I talking to today? Because this is like somebody else. It's not, I don't even know who you are, because one minute you're copying me, the next minute it's somebody else's identity, and then the next minute it's somebody else's identity. So when you see a narcissist emulating somebody else's identity, in fact, I actually saw him emulating femininity, talking in a woman's voice and crossing his legs like a woman. So I knew at that point that he was actually stealing a female's identity. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is crazy. It is crazy. I didn't even know who this person was. And I feel when you stand back and there's so many damn personalities on a weekly basis, you're kind of realizing, oh my, I am with a personality disordered mental illness person. Oh, and everybody, hello everyone, thank you for being here. You're just amazing. I just want to support you guys, okay? I want to support you guys. I really love psychology, and I like to talk about, I don't like to talk about narcissism, but I feel, yeah, this is what I've been through, and I'm still going through it. I'm still getting my head around this. I've not healed yet from this. And you know, and I think when you realize this, you kind of feel pity for them, although they are possibly got cheating on you, telling everybody that, you know, that you're not very good in bed, that you are horrible, that you're the one that has the tantrums, you're the one that throws things around, you're the one that does this, you're the one that does that, when really it's the other way around, okay? I think, yeah, I think it's so kind of, you know, it's not just me that's gone through being with a narcissist. I feel there's lots of people that's gone through this. But when you wake up and you come out the other side, you actually feel like your identity has been robbed. That's how you feel. You feel like your identity has been robbed and your identity has been stamped all over and spat on. That's how you feel after you've woken up to a narcissist, and you feel like you was never loved, that you feel ugly and unattractive because of the devaluation stage. And you know, you kind of picking yourself up from that. And then getting your head round, okay, I've just spent 5 years with a mentally disordered person. So that's kind of waking up. It's kind of putting the pieces together, and I tried to explain it. You try to put the jigsaw together of all of this, and then realize I've got to start to rebuild my life again because of this experience. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for being here. And so, well, it is a serious subject. Sorry, Yvonne, your ex must be really pissed off at you now. You came out of it so sweet and so empowering too many people. I am. I started this channel to empower people. Robert, yeah, I guess that I'm a lost cause because he can't control me, and he did choose, I guess he chose me because I was a strong character, and he felt that he could steal that strong character, that strong identity, but he can't, because he could never be me. He could never be me. This is how they think. They feel that they can be you. And in fact, I don't even feel sorry for these kinds of people, because they go around stealing people's identities and then try to destroy them. Robin, that's why my sister what my sister does. Yeah, it can be anyone in the family. They can be so resentful of your identity. That's what my sister does to me. She uses my identity all the time, especially on Facebook. Wow, it's crazy. She's so totally opposite from me, but she used my image and persona all the time. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It is. It's really crazy. Has anybody else got any stories of waking up to a narcissist? Aurora, Yvonne, you are doing a service, because the word narcissist is thrown around a lot these days, but narcissism is much, much more than just looking at themselves in the mirror. Absolutely. I have watched Dirty John, and so it can happen to anybody. They usually do target people that they can never be. They target people that they can never be. And it's always somebody who seems in control of their life, or an empath too. They like to target people who are empathic. Oh, yes. Susan, and you lose your confidence because how could you be so stupid? That's right. Yeah, you do go through you kind of lose who you are, a sense of who you are, because you've had your identity stolen. You feel like you've wasted all that time. Absolutely, Susan, spot on. Okay. You feel like you've wasted the amount of time you've been with that person until you've woken up. And those years are valuable. Those years are valuable. Yeah, well, this is a serious subject. I'm sorry if you feel that these stories are horrible, but that this is life, okay? And if you feel that you need to express this here or in the comment section down below, please do, because I want to help to heal. And I'm going through this healing process myself too. And I'm stuck, guys, to what to do here. What to do. I know this person's got a personality disorder. I don't know what to do. And I've woken up to this, but I feel like I've lost a lot of time. That's how I feel. Sometimes you do have to cut family ties if this is happening in your family. Yeah, it does have to stop. It does have to stop. It's not very nice. I know it's not very nice, guys. So many people have gone through this experience. But the thing is that although you feel lost after this kind of experience, and you feel like you've been lied to and duped and cheated on, and because they do pretend that they hate you, really. They hate you because they feel that you've got that strong identity that they don't possess. So they hate you. In all honesty, that's how they are, and they will still fake in front of you that, no, darling, nothing's going on. No, darling, while they are sitting in a car with somebody not as half as nice as you, and getting kind of validation from them. Yeah. When you've done nothing, you've done nothing. All you've done is show a really empathic side to yourself. And this person saw you as good supply, A grade supply, because you are clever, you have a very strong identity, you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, and they just want to take that away from you. Narcissists feel that they can take that from you and instill it into themselves, but they can't. They can't be you. They cannot be you. They want to be you, but they can't be you. Does that make sense? Hello. Let's have a look here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in. EA, ex-husband actor. Ex-husband actor is a narcissist. Haven't seen him physically for 35 years. Well, a lot of actors are narcissists, aren't they? I'm not saying all of them, but narcissists live in other people's identities all the time. It's their job. I haven't seen him physically for 35 years, but calls and emails me over the years at random, and it's always to get me to do free work for him. Promises visits and never does, I guess. Does that mean? Thank you for your comments. Yeah, they don't let you go either. Once you get into their harem, you are useful. You could be useful to them in old age, or you could be useful to them at a later date. Hello, Robin. My fiance's sister is crazy. We moved from New York back to Florida to get away from her, but now she has moved in on her parents, who moved into the neighborhood across from, and she's just been awful. Gosh. Yeah, cut them. Absolutely, Alexandra, cut them out of your life. I think that's the only way to, you have to get courage and realize that if this is somebody that you was in love with or still in love with, you have to realize this person never loved you. He's not capable of loving you, does not even know what love is, and just fakes it, fakes love, fakes sex, fakes it all, and does it just to feed that validation, feed that empty, that broken sense of self. That's all they do it for. If you see it like that you are just an object to them to feed off. You are an object, no matter what kind of emotion you express. You could be crying your eyes out, thinking, I can't believe you've done this to me. That is narcissistic validation. Now, that is supply to the narcissist. You could be having a breakdown, and I'm so hurt by what you've done. But that is supply to the narcissist. They will feed off that, okay? I want to gorge on all your emotions that I don't have. And I can see it. You're a normal person and I hate you for it. But I want to make you feel the worst I can so I can feed off that. They are just pure evil. Pure evil. Okay, and the only way, and I absolutely agree with Alexandra, is that to actually get the courage to cut them out of your life, because this never stops. This would never stop. And if you've woken up to this, you can never change somebody like this. They never change. They never change. They only get worse. If you've seen the mask off and you've seen these multiple personalities, then if you're willing to live with that, you know, not knowing who the hell they are, getting abused, getting kind of smear campaigns against you, hating you for having an identity of your own, then you're not going to be happy, are you? Because that is not love. That is not love. And thinking that you can change somebody like that, you can't change somebody like that. Absolutely not. So waking up to the narcissist, guys, is very, very difficult thing to do. And the way to stop this is to cut them out of your life. And I'll go with what Alexandra said there. Okay. I'm sorry it's sad, but this is what this subject is. It's not about having a giggle. Okay. This is about helping people and sharing here. Okay. Yes, thank you, Mary. I'm kind of getting there, Mary. I know that there's other supply around him at the moment, and I'm out of there. But I'm not going to say any more because just in case. Hello, Wanda. Good for you. Good for you. Okay. Yeah, I won't say any more on here about me because I'm trying to obviously protect. But it's a horrible thing to actually experience, that you get treated like an object, just so they can triangulate people with you. See, if you're attractive, and they think I've got use for you because I can make other people jealous of you, so that triangulates, so then that attention comes to me. That's what they do. You're not a person. They don't love you. You are just an object. You're a slave to them. That's all you are. And waking up to that's painful. It is painful. It is painful. Waking up to the fact that they've got multiple personalities is very painful. And anybody who's never experienced a narcissist hasn't got a clue of what the hell you're talking about. But the only way that I can explain a narcissist is that they are toxic people. If you don't understand narcissism, then you will understand about toxic people. They are corrosive and they're toxic, and they have to have drama all around them, and they're not capable of loving people. Yeah, well, Shanley, it's live, and hopefully, you know, I've had all I can say is that I've had a huge education of toxic people, because it's not just this person, it's actually his family and people around him. They all knew what he was doing and just let it go on. And you see, that's what toxic people do. They get enjoyment out of watching somebody become a victim when they don't. You know, toxic. Yes, it is. It's destructive. They are master manipulators, Susan. You're right. Yeah, I think that's right as well, Robin. You need to be true to yourself. You need to be true to who you are, and protect yourself, protect your heart. Absolutely. So I'm going to call it a night, guys. Thank you for being here. I just wanted to talk about waking up to the narcissist here. Okay. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for all of your support. And anybody who's going through the same thing, please put your comments below. And the only way to get through this is to cut contact and try to work on your healing of yourself here. You're welcome. Okay. And there's lots of informative kind of videos out there of what is a narcissist, why they do this, why they cheat, and all of this kind of thing. But this is just me being authentic and just saying, yes, I've been through this. Yes, I'm still kind of getting over this. Yes, I'm working on healing here. Yeah, you're absolute, Alexandra. I need you as an advisor. Go cold turkey. Absolutely. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. Put your comments down below. Anybody new to my channel? Well, that's what I'm here for, is to help and educate. And, you know, this is a spiritual channel, don't forget. And it's for spiritual healing. And if I can extend out so to heal others, then that's great. So put your comments in the comments section. And all of you, anybody who's been through this, we're here to support you, okay? And I do read all of my comments, and you know, we can work through this together, absolutely. So sending you guys lots of love, lots of blessings, and bye for now. Bye bye. Good night.